Hi, children. It's Grandma Carla with my friend Elijah. You want to say hi, Elijah?
Hi.
Hi. And we're going to read Blaze and the Indian Cave today. Blaze and the Indian Cave. Billy was a boy who had a pony named Blaze that he loved very much. And Blaze was very gentle and obedient, and Billy took the best care of him. They often took long rides and explored the country. You want to help me show the pictures? See the pictures. See Blaze and Billy? One day, Billy's cowboy friend Jim told him about an Indian cave up in the hills. I often camped there when I was a boy, said Jim. I like to see the pictures the Indians painted on the walls long ago. Here's the picture of the two horses and Billy's cowboy friend, Jim. Billy's father and mother said he could camp there overnight too if he was very careful about his fire. So early the next morning, he packed food in a blanket and set out for the hills. Blaze went along very eagerly. He liked exploring too. Do you like exploring, Elijah? There's picture. After riding many miles, they came to the hills, and there, far away, Billy could see the cave. This is going to be very exciting, he said to Blaze. I have never seen an Indian cave. Blaze hurried along, and soon they were there.
These are my new socks.
You have new socks? Oh, those are really cool. You want to show them the new socks? Say hi, new socks. As soon as they got to the cave, Billy hurried inside with a flashlight. There on the walls were pictures of Indians and buffalo and deer. How long ago they must have been painted, but the colors were still bright. There's the picture of Billy in the cave and all of the Indian drawings. Then Billy tied Blaze to a small tree in a place where he could graze. Later, he watered the pony at a spring nearby. They had come a long way, and both were hungry and thirsty. And there's Blaze resting a little bit. Isn't Blaze a pretty horse? Blaze rested in the shade until the sun went down, and then built a small fire and made his supper. The food always tasted so good when he cooked outdoors. He ate a big meal and soon began to feel sleepy. Do you get sleepy after you eat? I get a little sleepy. Oh, he's cooking over an open fire. That looks so good. Grandma's tummy's gonna rumble. Using his saddle as a pillow, the way cowboys do, he lay thinking of the Indians who once lived there. It must have been very exciting when big herds of buffalo were on the prairie and deer could be seen everywhere. The last thing he thought of before he fell asleep was Blaze quietly grazing outside. There he's looking outside the cave and looking at Blaze grazing. Then he's going to doze off to sleep. He was very tired and he slept soundly. When he awoke, it was bright daylight. He sat up and put on his hat, and suddenly his heart seemed to stop. There was no Blaze outside. Uh-oh. What happened to Blaze? Where has he gone?
Maybe.
His lasso lay by the tree, but Blaze was nowhere in sight. Billy knew that his pony would never leave him, even if he got loose. Someone had stolen him. Uh-oh. What's going to happen? You're having a hard time not telling, right? Billy could see tracks of the pony's feet, and he followed them.
It might have been an Indian.
You think it was an Indian?
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. Even though he knew he could never catch up, he felt he must try to get Blaze back. He had to. Do you see Billy following the tracks? After going a long way, he saw a man on horseback. When Billy came up to him, he saw that he was an Indian with a very wrinkled face. Billy told him about Blaze. "Maybe Joe Rattlesnake stole your pony," said the old Indian. "He's a no good Indian." There's the old Indian talking to Billy. Poor Billy, he's so sad. They followed the tracks together, and Billy was surprised at how much the old Indian.
Joe Rattlesnake took Billy's bony.
Oh, he does. Okay, Billy was so surprised at how much the old Indian could tell from the tracks. "Here your pony tried to turn back. He didn't want to go away from you." What do you got to say there over there, huh? Are you enjoying hearing the story too? When they came to a high ridge, they could see a man on horseback far away. Even at that...
Was it Joe Rattlesnake?
You think it is? Let's see. Even at that distance, Billy knew that it was Blaze he was riding. "We'll catch him," said the old Indian. And there's the old Indian and Billy, and off in the distance you can see the Indian riding the horse. The Indian told Billy that Joe Rattlesnake would have to come out of the valley through a narrow canyon. If Billy hurried, he could head him off. The old Indian would chase him. "Can you throw a lasso?" asked the Indian, and Billy nodded. I bet you he was glad that he had practiced throwing a lasso, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Billy took the shortcut the old Indian pointed out and hurried as fast as he could. If he could only get to that canyon before Blaze and Joe Rattlesnake. Oh, here he runs. He is running very fast.
Daddy's home.
Billy dashed down into the canyon and hid behind a big rock. Soon he heard hoofbeats, and there was Blaze. He did not want to go any further, so Joe Rattlesnake was whipping him and making him go on. Poor Blaze. He is being whipped by Joe Rattlesnake. Poor Blaze. Do you see Blaze coming? When they came closer, Billy leaped up and called, "Whoa, Blaze!" Blaze stopped short, and Billy threw his lasso. There's Billy throwing his lasso, and it ends on Joe Rattlesnake. It caught Joe Rattlesnake around the chest. Billy pulled as hard as he could, and Joe Rattlesnake came tumbling to the ground. There's Billy lassoing Joe Rattlesnake. Serves Joe Rattlesnake right? He stole a horse that did not belong to him. The fall stunned him. The old Indian came up and tied his hands behind his back. "I'll take him to the sheriff," he said. "He won't be able to steal horses for a long time." The old Indian is a nice Indian, and he is a wise Indian, a good friend to have. He's not like Joe Rattlesnake that steals horses, right? How happy Billy was as he rode toward home. He had his pony again. In his pocket he carried a beautiful red arrowhead that the old Indian had given him. "Good luck, arrowhead, for a good, brave boy," he said. Billy was very proud and very happy. And here is the picture of Billy riding Blaze again. And that is the end of Blaze in the Indian Cave. And this book is by C.W. Anderson, and I enjoyed reading it with my good friend Elijah. You want to say goodbye, Elijah? This is Grandma Carla, and I love you.